Shout out to Buzz Lightyear. Before I even get this video started, he's had a lot of different battle suits over the years, not even counting his regular Space Ranger level suit. Y'all remember Buzz Lightyear from the Toy Story saga? Basically a living toy who thought he was actually the real Buzz Lightyear, but he was actually delusional and he wasn't. What if I told you there's actually a real Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger that could do all the things that the toy Buzz Lightyear thought he could do, but he can actually do them like lasers and fly. But at least the toy version actually knew how to fight though. Kind of reminds me of Iron Man on how he has different suits for different situations, like an aquatic suit, standard suit, the shield suit with a sword. No, I wasn't playing. Buzz Lightyear can literally use a sword. He knows how to use different weapons like this to wrap you up, immobilizer disc to make robots unable to move, be able to turn into a Gatling gun. The armors on the arms can reflect lasers. This suit has laser nets that can transform into stuff like that. Buzz Lightyear wasn't necessarily in the suit in this situation. You see him getting wrapped up. It could also transform into handcuffs, might I add. He has a suit that he wears over his normal suit that can fire like goo. One could say it's like an extra bulk layer of protection, maybe like his Hulkbuster form or something. He has a suit similar to his normal suit. It's just for going underwater. And he has the standard laser ability. These jetpacks, however, only work on water. And has like a harpoon that can pierce through rocks, so that's cool. When you think of the Space Rangers, you think of Power Rangers. In Marvel Comics, you think of Nova Corps because they're literally space police. Buzz joined the Space Academy because that's all he wanted to be when he grown up. The Space Ranger Academy he joined. Buzz also has a suit that's made for high temperature situations. Yeah, battle suited up. Respected. The bad thing about this suit is that it doesn't have any built-in weapons, but it just protects his body from extreme heat. But it does have a limit though. If it approaches near the heat of the sun, it'll start to melt. Even though it doesn't have no real weapons, it has jets in the souls though, so it can still do like that. He even has this giant mech suit, like a literal mech that he can pilot, which can shoot missiles from the fingertip, can literally fire the hands out themselves, like and the hands can be regrown after he shoots them out like that. It can turn into a drill, like on some Iron Man stuff. Eyes can shoot energy beams with crazy blast power. Retractable plasma blasters. Can withstand being frozen, but is undamaged. On top of it being bulky, it can create its own green energy shield like that. If it needs to, pieces of itself can eject from one another. But among other things, he actually can fight. Like he can quickly neutralize an opponent with 4 arms like that, throwing him over his shoulder, fighting skill. You guys know of his famous laser, like which is the actual laser. You still gotta have accuracy with the laser, right? Even when not looking at his target, he can do like that. Complete accuracy to where he just does that. Does some dead shot stuff to bounce his lasers off the environment to hit a target that way. Causes a lot of objects to fall in this occasion. Like, yeah. Speaking of his wrist laser, it has an automatic function where he can just do like that, even to take his hand out. Unlike the toys, he has lasers on both arms like that to blast in multiple directions. The lasers themselves have a certain amount of raw power, like how he can cut through this stuff like that. And can even cut through stone with ease. He can change the power level of the laser to where it causes certain damage, or times when it doesn't cause as much damage. Sometimes he can wheel things together like melting stuff around something, or just simply blast through walls like that or cut through them. Same with when it blasts through thick rocks like that. Or it can just act like heat to literally melt the ice off you or thaw you out. Or if he wants to, he can just literally vaporize your weapons with its blast power. Seems to have blue lasers that do that, can make like an explosion reaction. He's pretty much geared up. Wings, grappling hook, all the 9 yards to fight different beings or creatures. Space Rangers have to do this type of stuff. He can fire the grappling hook from his arm if he has to. Can be magnetized to stick him to metal on one of his many adventures. His suit can fire out a net. Just the standard equipment he can use to capture folks, stuff that comes out of it, like that. When emergency situations come up, he can do like the self-inflicting coma, like the Buzz Lightyear thought he was doing in the Toy Story movie. Get an idea of his leg strength like that, how he pushed them off, even though he's way bigger than them. Using his strength in this occasion, like fighting this big being, even though this being's way bigger. Is a struggle though. Literally pulls a missile that he's flying on to make it go off course. Situation. Even when he's dogpiled, he can push this many folks off him. When somebody's being launched at him, he can stop them on the dot with a clothesline. Can kick really hard, like kicking this door off. When he punches people, they go flying like that. They're just showing his strength. Aliens across storefront. He can punch him that far. He's not afraid of doing headbutt. This shows his strength without his suit, for example. Yeah, Buzz in a suit. He does that to a large robot. Overpowers a large robot's arm like that. That was trying to cut him without his suit necessarily showing his strength. Suit is handy. Even his standard suit without counting any of the other suits gives him crazy protection. Like how he endured being slammed through multiple floors like this and kept on fighting. They've been through a lot of adventures, even flicked by a giant monster that big and just like reacted right back. This monster's strong enough to literally pick up and level buildings. Buildings can weigh over hundreds of thousands of tons, and its body and suit can take attacks from the beings with this level of strength. Big old giant beings like This, he just gets hit like that. Took a being from this android that can hit really hard. Even when he's not wearing a suit that specializes for heat resistance, his suit still has some heat resistance. Exploding spaceships this big, he will stand that. Consistently fighting beings like Zurg. It chipped a piece of him off though. His suit protects him from falls this high. Yeah. Falls into a canyon, bouncing off the walls. Can survive in intense gravity. This was a special shoot in this particular occasion. Survive being inside a black hole. Like what? You'd be surprised at his speed. Usually space-type characters have speed. Even dodges several missiles, like in this occasion. For animation purposes, they may not look that fast, but that could be subsonic levels of reaction speed. Even dodging 2 missiles fired at close range. Another occasion of shooting at close range in the Zurg. Heck, he even twisted midair to avoid this stuff. Like, bruh. Did this guy just avoid a series of lasers? Leg strength seems to be strong to jump right into combat like that. Without his suit, it shows his physicals are impressive by the way he leaps. And he always ducks and dodges in combat when he can. There's implications that he has decent flight speed. When it comes to blast power, I would say he shines at the most rather than his physical strength thanks to his battle suit having different forms of equipment, even stuff that's not considered his standard gear. I would say that he shines at like this big old giant cannon that can destroy big old meteors like that. So one could say he can destroy mountain-sized stuff. Arguably, a drill that he can put a part of his suit to drill through buildings. When he was disguised, he had this zip wire like this that he could use. At one point, they even created them shrinking belt. One mission, he had cloaking tech that can render him completely invisible. Buzz Lightyear's speed seems to be impressive. I mean, he is a space-type being. I mean, their ships to even be able to get anywhere in space has to be way faster than the speed of light, because even light in space isn't really that fast, considering the distance between each planet, galaxy, solar systems, and etc. Like this one-man flying platform, for example, was going so fast that it looked like they was passing stars, or one could say galaxy hopping, one could say. Like, you see the effect right there, all them lines? This is similar to how Star Wars, when they warp jump and they go crazy fast distances in a very short amount of time with raw speed. Buzz Lightyear's a space-type character. This does not seem that unlikely for them to be able to move this fast. This little device can also shoot out blue energy. Technically, he has light speed attacks thanks to his lasers being literal lasers, and that should be light speed. He doesn't have no crazy out-of-the-ordinary feats, but I would say he should be able to blast away buildings based on the monster he fights with his laser blast power and etc. He's still out of the ordinary when it comes to physicals as well, when it comes to his strength, based on the way he can just literally leap super high. But that could be just me. But what do you guys think?